Welcome back. Lesson 2 and segment number 2 is our customer questionnaire. So this will take place once we've done our entry statement, once we've finished our 4-corner statement, and now we're going to be asking them some questions in order to arrive at how we'd like to tailor the presentation to just their needs. So there again, we're just make it simple. We're going to date it. We're going to put the customer's names. And there again, as we do this, this is not a questionnaire as far as a interrogation. It's not a quiz. We don't want to read off of it and do a checklist. This can become part of our conversation with the customer, meaning that we can ask these questions in this order, but we don't have to ask them like we're reading down a sheet. This may have happened. You could have even asked this question or had been brought up prior to this, but let's just say, Mr. Jones, how did you, what ad about the ad that you read prompted you to have us call here today? And once they say that they wanted us to have out here today because they've got a bad knee, I've got a bad back, I've got neuropathy, whatever those symptoms are that are the main thing, they should give you that answer here. And prior to starting this, you would have asked the customer, do you mind if I jot some notes down so I don't forget anything? And so you would actually put those notes in here. So there again, knees, back, neuropathy. So how long have you lived in your home, Mr. Jones? Well, I've been here for 15 years. And you know what? Is this one of those homes that you plan on staying in? Or are you guys here for a short amount of time? I talk to a lot of people, and it depends on, what they're doing. Some people are just, they want to transition, and some people are saying this is where it's going to end. So depending on what they say, you're going to put in here that this could be the last house they're in. Okay, great. Now, if you had a walk-in bath installed in your home, how do you feel this tub would help you? We want to find out in this question is to find out exactly why they think a walk-in tub is going to benefit them, and then we want to go deeper on that. So their response to you might be, well, I'm hopefully for my safety and some aches and pains. And then, well, and Mr. Jones, can I ask you, is there anything else in reference to your safety? Was there a reason why you're worried about your safety, or, what really stops you from doing things that you enjoy doing because of your knee pain or your back pain or whatever it may be? Remember, we need to be asking multiple layered questions as we talk with this, but in a conversation with the customer. Now, we want to skip the third one here, this one, as far as medication, and we want to kind of move on to going down to this question here. And these there, again, are not questions. They are going to be a guideline to asking the customer what things might they have that we can then help them and explain why our tub is going to relieve some of the symptoms. And there again, you may have two of these. We do not want to ask each individual person. Ask them as a group and just jot down Mr. and Mrs. on there. So let's say we did that. So basically what we would find out, I'd say, Mr. Jones, listen, do we have any diabetes? Either one of you with type 2 diabetes? We get an answer, yes or no. We could want to check off or circle for Mr. and Mrs. Now, can I ask you, with the diabetes, are you taking any medication for that? Are you dealing with it just with your diet? You're not on insulin yet, are you? And that question we want to ask is because that's critical as we talk about diabetes, is that we understand that if they're on insulin, most people that are on insulin, they become insulin dependent. They're on it for the rest of their lives. So they try to avoid getting to be on insulin. When you are a type 2 diabetic and you become insulin dependent, meaning you're going to need insulin for the rest of your life, you're now considered a type 1 diabetic. And we want to make sure they understand, which I'm sure they've been told by their doctors, but that is a point where we want to drill down on that one, because that one, nobody wants to be taking insulin for the rest of their lives. So if we have any high blood pressure, how's our blood pressure doing? Oh, so do we treat that with any medication? We take some high blood pressure medication? Okay. Now, anything in reference to the heart, we have any strokes or blood clots, anything like that? No, everything's good. Do we have any lower back pain? Anything in our hips, lower back? You're going to go, so we have lower back, mister. And there again, what is that stopping you from doing? Are there things that you wish you could do because your lower back hurts? What is that stopping you from enjoying? You're going to get the answers for that and move on. There again, as we go through, we don't have to be going to each one of these, We can ask them in groups. Anything to do with your feet, your ankles, your feet, anything like that. Great. What about any arthritis? Do we have just arthritis anywhere? Oh, we're going to get, okay. Now, there again, arthritis. How are you dealing with your arthritis? Are you taking any medication for that? Are you just trying to do that with trying to exercise a little bit, trying to get some blood and oxygen to those areas normally? Do we have any neuropathy? There again, stress or anxiety. Now, lumbar and sciatica, are there any of those things bothering you? Varicose veins, trouble sleeping. Oh, you do have trouble sleeping. So let me ask you, what are you doing for your sleeping problems? Do you take anything, any medication for that? Whatever medication, if they do take, we want to say that. The reason why we're asking these medication questions is we obviously want to show them, and we might be able to eliminate them being able to take some of these medications. We have any trouble balance issues? Oh, we do. So let me ask you a question. Did that balance issues, have you had any falls? Oh, and what was the damage from the falls? And there again, overall pain. Anything else we need to know? There again, in these questions, you're going to just get this. This becomes conversational. You want to work with them on this and not make this like you're doing a checklist. So, can I ask you both, how do you currently bathe now? Do we take a bath? Do we take a shower? You're going to get a response. I haven't had a bath in 15 years. The follow-up to that would be, Mrs. Jones, do you miss taking a bath? Mr. Jones, do you miss taking a bath? We want to find out if that's a miss, then we're going to show them how that we can get that back into their lives. Now, when was the last time that you took a nice relaxing bath? And you might ask Mrs. with candles, have you, with some nice aromas, Mr. just kind of relaxing. When was the last time you were able to do that? And get those answers. And if that time was a long time ago, go back and say, so is that something that you'd like to be able to have back in your life today? Being able to take one of those relaxing baths? And we want to get them to acknowledge this. This is not a telling them and having them nod yes or no. This is asking them and getting them to tell us more information. Okay? Now, once we're done with that, we're going to say, now I'm almost done. So we'd like to ask you just 3 different questions and see where these fall in. There are 3 main reasons that our customers told us why they purchased the bath, and which one of these describes your situation the best? So in reference to convenience, the therapy part that's going to help you, or your independence where you don't have to have somebody else helping you and you can maybe stay in your house longer. So if you had to rate those between the most important, the second most, and the third most, which one is the first? So your independence is important. You know what? So many people tell us that. And there again, we want to try to help you with that. And second would be the therapy. Now the therapy obviously is going to help with our aches and pains. And there again, I think if you start to see some improvement, maybe your doctor will let you, you can get off some of the medication you're on, which we know that if we could avoid some medication, that's just better for us overall. And so the last one would be for the convenience. Okay. Now, before we get up and we're going to walk to the bathroom, just real quick, what's the one thing you hate about your bathroom right now? And this question is for them to tell us if there's something right in their mind right now that they hate, whether they're scared of it, they can't get in and out of the tubs, their discomfort while they're trying to get washed up, or any of those other reasons. That we're going to write that down here, and that'll take care of that.